Welcome to another map guide. This video is part of an ongoing series on how to master every single map in the game, and I want to show you what's the best opening for every map to have your first position that has proven the best from me in my over 100,000 games. I have certainly experimented a lot, and I want you to learn from all my experience so you don't have to go through all the trial and error that I had to do on my own. By the way, the following content is a recording of a live stream that allow every viewer to ask their questions. So if you want to ask your questions as well on the next map guides, then make sure to follow me on Twitch. The link is in the description down below. Canal is an interesting map. It is very split up because of the canal, the canal actually in the middle here, which does not allow you to relocate all that much, and it is allowing for lots of shots over the entire map. So yeah, it might be very tricky, especially as there are lots of strong TD positions that can be very annoying. But yeah, I would at the start, especially from the south spawn here, moving towards A is tricky. It's really tricky because enemies are good at shooting you, and you're seeing this on the red side here on the north spawn. There are houses to cover anyone moving towards base A, and they can just stop there if they are getting spotted. Over here you are not having any cover at all, just this one rock over there, and that's pretty much it. If you're getting spotted here, you are dead. With a heavy, that's an absolute no-go. With a light tank, you can still go for this move, but you risk just getting counted by more enemies on the other side and not having any backup. A risky thing to do, but still sometimes better than D, because on D, you're having your first position over there. That's like, for light tanks, I would just get over there. You can potentially, if you're moving up from the left side here, you can get spots in over there, or over there, more likely over there, some heavy getting in that position. You can also have an early shot into that position. I would still want to back off a bit after that, because there are TDs over here that can just shoot you at all times, and that is quite a risky thing to happen to you. So I would just go for this first spot. In most scenarios, sometimes I'm just moving towards A, just staying there for a bit with a light tank and seeing if I can go for A or just want to relocate again. But yeah, that's my standard starting position for mediums and light tanks. And after the first spots and shots, and depending on how many tanks you've got with you and how many tanks are ahead of you, you can then decide to get into the corner to get aggressive on shooting anyone or killing anyone over there. You can even decide to drop deep into the corner. It's a bit riskier from this side. From the other side, it works better. But that will be a hull down massacre here. If there is some guy over there, you can definitely kill them. Also, a nice move is to just move up behind them, take this hill to really elevate your tank and shoot them without really getting dragged into the middle here, because there might still be TDs covering this side. So rather get over there to shoot the corner out. And if you have cleared that corner, of course, you can just try to peek over there. You can use the bush that is in that position over there and try to shoot any enemies being over there still, and just farm a little bit, maybe get off some shots before moving forwards, shooting the A area. That's pretty much my standard move here with the heavy tank. Faster heavy tanks, talking about an E6 for example, the heavium, I would also take in that position and then decide whether I could push forwards. If I'm not having like a heavium, I would not get into the D corner if I'm not having the greatest turret, if I'm not having mobility, because I might just get stuck there. So if I'm playing an E100 or AMX for example, what I like to do is moving into that position over there, which is really important, because you can on the one hand spot B, but you can also spot anyone crossing over there. You can have shots over there, and you are allowing your TDs and all the teammates that are behind you to shoot anyone crossing over to A, and that can already be 2k or 3k damage for your teammate, basically for free. So I would just go for the spot here, and that's pretty much it. What you can do afterwards, if the enemies are just not on A and just being in a B area or having some tanks over here even, you can decide to push down, move up here, shoot everyone over there because you can be hull down, you can still be covered by your TDs. You can also, if it's not too safe to move up there, you could also do the wider flank, get over there, take this hull down position, also works with mediums, and then you shoot the B area. But if there is someone on A, this won't work out because you will just get crossfired all the times, and you cannot move up over there without getting shot into the back. You cannot shoot those guys without getting shot into the back from over there. So that's quite a risky thing to do. If you're winning the D side and you're in that position, then you can think about running over there like this, or just dropping into the canal here and getting hull down over there to shoot B and anyone being in that area, because you can spot them as well. You can even shoot that area and be hull down over there. TD position, very standard here. The best one actually is, lots of good PD or TD positions. The best one is actually this one, because it will allow you to shoot all this area and you will be able to shoot D. You will be able to shoot that position even. You might even have shots over there. I'm not too sure, not too many shots. I think that position you can shoot definitely. You could also decide to move over there then, but for the start I would go there. Next, we have the red side, of course. So light position is just mirrored. So let's just take it over there. It's just the same thing. Spotting anyone over there, like spotting some guys that are something you should really not do, and that can get punished quite heavily, is moving through the canal. All the TDs here will be lined up to shoot that area. Let me just quickly have a look at the chat here. There were some questions. Why not capping C or B from the other side in the beginning? Again, I'm not playing Supremacy for the caps. Caps are always exposed and you will get punished for taking caps. I'm not sure. I think you were still talking about the other map, right? If you are moving into the cap early, that is always a weak position. It might lead to you having the cap lead by a small margin, which can easily switch around by some teammate losing hit points and dying, and then the enemies will have the cap lead and you have lost a lot of hit points just for taking the base, and it will not be worth it anymore. I'm trying to fight the enemies and trying to win against the enemies by just killing them. And also, if you're going into C over here, there is a decapping position over there that can shoot C. Anyone over there can shoot the other side. That's something you learn in tournaments quite a lot, how to decap a certain base. And for basically all the caps, there are positions to decap. That also B, you can cap B safely, but it's more important to get in the shots here and get in the spots. But yeah, that's also, if anyone's moving over there, they can shoot you. A is a bit safer to cap, but I would rather go for damage because my teammates are not able to hold up the enemies for too long. That's for sure. The enemies or your allies are just going to fight, and if they are losing because they are having 2 tanks against 1, and you are taking the base, then you are down 1 tank, but you are having a base and it's not going to take you anywhere. Rather try to help your teammates out. The points are not going to win you the game. Rarely ever. But Supremacy games are also mostly won by kills because they give you points and take points from the enemies. It is not a tier issue, Genosse. It's not a tier issue. If you have to take a base, do it. But if you're not under pressure, and I would rather go for damage, really. That's my experience from all my battles. Supremacy points are not really too important to winning the games. Most games are decided by the kills. And if you are really noticing the enemies are having 3 caps against your 1 cap, then take the base, but only then if you have to, so you can still have a chance of winning the game. But don't play for gambling on caps by just going for caps early on. Any cap here, if it's D, C, B or A, if you're moving into that immediately at the start, it means that the enemies are able to do the same thing, and it is just a gamble whether they're having more tanks or not, and they will punish you, and then you lose the fight because you tried taking the base at the start. Okay, let's get back to the map here. Heavy positions. What I like doing a lot is moving into B here, because as I already just mentioned, you can get the spots in over here. It's like from both spawns, one of the most important positions on this entire map here, getting over there. But also what you can do with a fast tank, a fast heavy tank, like an AMX E6 or so, you can move into base A. And a quick tip for that, I would really try to get over there and get out of this area, because here you can get shot, and even if you take some first hits for crossing over, you will be really safe over there, and then you can shoot exactly this position. It's a perfect counter. So let's draw that in. Mediums or fast heavy tanks can go for this move, get over there. If you have then shot this area, you can move up over there and can still put in some more shots, shoot the enemy TDs, or decide to push forwards, depending on the situation. For TDs, I would recommend just sticking around. Like, you could decide to go for A if you're having a fast TD, and I would make sure that I am using the that I would be using the houses here, and maybe stay in this position at the start, because there's some bushes also, you can have some first shots and then cross over safely. It's also a good way to quickly stop there. Otherwise you can just stick around in the back here at the start and see if you are having some first shots over there, because quite often enemies are just camping in this area and over there. And if you're having someone to spot B, you are quite sure to have some spots there and are able to put in some shots. But then I would also try to move over. But if you're playing a 183 or Jark, it is impossible to move into the A corner or E3. You're just far too slow, having bad camouflage. With an FE45 or Grille, you might also climb up onto this position, which is also a really nice position, but train that in a training room. You have to move up on the far outer side here. From over there, there's like a little hill, you elevate your tank and climb over there, and you're in a really awesome position, but really practice that in training room and don't fail in battle, otherwise it's just going to be awful. You can also move up the hill over here, but yeah, that's a bit more dangerous, because if the enemies are pushing around the corner, they will spot you. That's how it is. Okay. So much about the position. Also here about B, you can move to the other side of the house and can shoot those guys over there as well. You can also have shots into this position, and you could also decide to drop down into the canal, but that's really not a safe move. You can easily get counter pushed. Be aware of that. So I would rather also go for a push like that, or just pushing down here, moving up, so I can be hull down over here and try to shoot the enemy TDs. Depends on the situation once more. You could also get over there, try to shoot those mediums out. Well, I'm just trying to show you the safest position for the start. Good, so much about this map.